Come on, please. Come on, give me that fix. Give me that fix.
Hello and welcome to this thing we call Minnesota Foul Play-by-Play. I'm your host, Anthony Variano. We are live on YouTube at Minnesota Foul Play-by-Play, and I'm joined today by our NBA 2K expert and my favorite cousin, Joel Variano. Joel,
Hey,
how you doing,
boys.
buddy?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Real good. Now that we figured out the technical difficulties and where to find the stupid code at the end of the Google Meet link.
Sorry
I'm
about
also,
tech savvy.
no worries. I'm also joined by, as usual, the brothers Haas, Michael and Bradley. Bradley, how's your bod?
What's up, brother? It's looking good. Looking good. Yep.
Michael, how are you?
I'm in the best shape of my life.
Obviously, we have Joel on when we want to talk basketball. When I want to talk basketball, because I think I'm the only one on the show who wants to talk basketball.
Whatever.
But
I do.
Now
Now we want to.
Now that we're in the Western Semifinals of the NBA playoffs, everybody wants to start talking basketball out here in Minnesota. So we got Joel on to talk a preview of the Denver Nuggets series with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Unlike last year, we will be at full strength. We have improved vastly compared to last year, and I don't think Denver has improved much, even though they were the champs. So
They gave up a lot of their bench. I mean, they don't have Jeff Green like they did last year. They don't have Bruce Brown. And even Christian Braun hasn't played that great this year. But I mean, he's a second-year player.
And that's been the talk amongst the NBA analysts on the mainstream medias that they're not deep and they could get worn down.
But the thing too, though, is Joker can make anybody look good, so you can't count him out.
That's true. Anybody who can make an open shot is his best friend.
Yeah,
that's the problem. He's just a problem. This is going to test the mettle of the Minnesota Timberwolves, unlike anything in their franchise history. They've never been in this situation before. Boy, you know what? Let's talk about the Phoenix Suns sweep, though. The first sweep in franchise history.
I don't think they're going to be tested, honestly. I mean, I think this group's confidence is at an all-time high right now. I don't think that they're going to walk into Denver on Saturday night scared.
No.
They're going to walk in as the bullies.
Oh,
and Edwards right now he runs the NBA, in my opinion.
I think he's taken it over. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he's taken the torch from Jokic. We'll find out through the course of this series. I don't know what's happening. The man just makes a joke of the game too often. He's just too damn good at everything.
Well, and if Jamal Murray's calf is, strained as bad or as good as, people say, like, I honestly, I think this series is over in 5 games.
I don't think
move on to the finals.
Problem. I think if the Michael Porter Jr. who shows up in the regular season shows up in this series rather than the Michael Porter Jr. who showed up in the last series, who is actually shooting the ball pretty well.
Look at last year, though. So last year, our team was worse because of missing McDaniels and Rudy.
No, we had Rudy for the second round, but we didn't have Naz Reid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, yeah. I think we're good.
Yeah, I think, of all the teams in the playoffs, I felt, even at the beginning of the year, that we matched up best against Denver. Would you agree with that, Joel?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
For sure. I mean, you have different things. The thing with Denver is you have to worry about Joker, obviously, but Murray's a fucking playoff player. He plays better in the playoffs. It's like their best kept secret, but everybody knows he's fucking great in the playoffs. It's like it's a secret you know about. He's just fucking good. I think he's as big a problem. I mean, I think we have a better shot at stopping Murray than Joker, but I think he's just as fucking important. Well, I think the way we win the series is we focus on a Michael Porter. We focus on Eric Gordon. We take the other players out and let Joker and Murray do their thing. I mean, stop them the best we can, but let them do their things, but stop the other players. We can't let Michael Porter go for 20 points.
Speaking of how to win the series, I did way too much research into this today, and it became pretty obvious what the key to a Wolves win in this series is, and it's Karl-Anthony Towns. Anthony Edwards
Shocking.
nailed it in that post-game presser when he says, "Stop fucking fouling." Towns is too goddamn important on both ends of the floor, and here I'm going to tell you why. He was only in one of the games that they played against Denver, one of the 4. He went 7 for 19 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3, hit all 6 of his free throws, grabbed 8 boards, dished 4 assists, had 2 steals. Just 1 turnover and only 2 fouls. I think we take that from him in every game of this series, and I think we win every game of that series. Anybody disagree?
Mm-hmm. No,
I don't disagree.
If he scores around 20, grabs 8 boards, and dishes 4 assists, and only has 1 turnover and only 2 fouls, we'll take that from him every night.
Yes. And hitting all of his free throws. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And one of the most important parts of this team is hitting their fucking free throws.
And I'm going to get to that, Joel, because that's my other big thing to winning this series is they need to get to the damn foul line, which means they got to attack the rack, man. In the series against the Suns, in 3 out of the 4 games, they went to the line 30 or more times 3 times. In 3 games, they shot 30 or more free throws. That's just aggressiveness. That is getting people out of position on dribble drives, and a lot of it's just Ant-Man, Nas, those guys just absolutely manhandling. They were a mismatch pretty much everywhere on the floor, though, against the Suns. I don't think that'll happen quite as much against Denver. Although we did have a game against Denver where we shot 37 free throws. We had another one where we shot 27 free throws. Those 37 free throws were the only reason that we were able to beat the Nuggets without Karl-Anthony Towns on the floor. But yeah, I think if they can get around 30 free throws a game, they're going to be golden in that respect. They need to get about 1 free throw per every 3rd field goal attempt. And then my last key is, again, comes back to Karl-Anthony Towns, this time on the defensive end. Denver has the highest offensive rebound chance percentage in basketball this year during the regular season. So cleaning up the defensive glass is going to be imperative. We only beat Denver on the boards in the game Towns played, which is another reason why he has to stay out of foul trouble. We just got to have him out there to collect rebounds, if not to score. If he's going to not score, he's still out there to,
Well, even pull the defense if he's not scoring. I mean, he's such a threat at the 3-point line. At least that's going to open up the lanes.
Exactly. And that was what I was going to segue into, Joel. God damn, you're so good at this. This man watches no basketball.
I did watch 2 of these games
during the playoffs.
Yeah, I watched game 2, which was, I think, the most important game because that was the game Anthony Edwards and Cat shot like shit, and you saw the backups or the other players. Jaden had 18 fucking points. That's what we need.
That's when I texted you. I said, man, Karl-Anthony Towns being out might have made this bench an offensive force. And
it just gets the other players. I mean, Mike Conley's capable, but he is sometimes too passive to me.
Yeah.
And then, like, after game 1, Nah had a great game 1, scored a shit ton of points, and then he gets shot happy the second game.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're not a scorer. I mean, you can get hot occasionally, but you're not a scorer. So.
Yeah. Take open shots. I mean,
take open shots. If you're open in the corner, take the shot. Yeah.
A key to that win against Denver, he was 3 for 4 from 3-point range. So, I mean, but spot up corner threes, get to your spot, hit those shots.
Back to game 2. Sorry for interrupting.
No
but
worries.
The other thing I liked in game 2 was Jaden had 18 points, but he was always standing in the corner. Well, that game he drove, I want to say 6 or 7 times. I think he had 6 points from driving in or 8 points. And then he had 3 easy assists when they closed on him. He just, here you go, Rudy, dunk that.
I think
it's just, he needs to do that more. He's got that long frame. He can dunk it.
Does he forget that he can play at a different level than all these other guys?
He again, just like Mike Conley, it's like, take the fucking shot. Like Anthony Edwards and Cat don't have to take all the shots.
Yeah.
I mean, we want that, but if you're open, fucking take them.
Actually, we don't want that. Higher usage rate with those 2, the higher turnover rate. They're not great ball handlers.
But it's being punished. Like if you're catching that ball on the 3-point line and driving the baseline, you're getting free throws.
Yeah.
Back to your point.
Yeah.
Let Jaden shoot some free throws. Same with Nash. Nah had one of the most awful shots I've seen all playoffs. Is Anthony got double teamed. He kicked it over to him as he was running on the 3-point line on the corner, and he just jacked it up when he would have had just a fucking straight beeline to the basket. It's like, just drove me fucking nuts.
Yeah.
his defense is so important. I love Na, but I was like, that was fucking
Not
ugly.
gets after it on the defensive end, man.
Yeah.
He chases.
I think important fact on this for slowing Joker down. I think on offense, we need he's on should be the first fucking guy down the floor and call for the ball. Make him run. I think that's our best chance to slow him down is because they don't have a backup. He's going to be playing his minutes, so let's wear him out those minutes.
I think we run
let's
waves at
fucking
him.
run.
That's why I say get to the foul line, get to the rack.
I think we're going to be as physical as they are, but we can beat them by pace. Let's run. Let's wear these guys out. They don't
do particularly well.
Well, the thing is, they don't have the bench to play. We do.
Right.
So it's like let's put the pedal to the metal and run on these guys.
And I was going to mention that our bench, once it gets down to the bench minutes, boy, we're going to dominate those. So I mean, they can't really.
If Kyle's healthy, he didn't play much last series, but I mean, Nas and Na are playing fucking great. Yeah. So if we can get Kyle and maybe Morris some minutes too, I mean, who knows?
That was different. Like last year, Kyle was playing like 25 minutes in those games, you know, and now he'll play what 8, 12.
Yeah.
So
it depends on foul trouble, I guess.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed, baby. But hey, I wrote in the meta description of the podcast that we're oddly okay with Karl-Anthony Towns being the key to this series. I don't know how we got here. I never would have thought in my life that I'm kind of confident that Karl might actually not fuck up this time. But
I don't think. Sorry, I was.
Go ahead.
Beating my dog.
Don't say that.
Michael Vick's on the podcast.
Yeah. I don't think Cat's the key to the turn or to the series. I really don't.
Why do you say that?
Who said that?
I did.
I think they both did.
I think McDaniels, man. I think like you guys were talking about, if he can be aggressive and stuff like that.
I just don't see him continuing to score at the clip that he was in the previous series.
If we can get close to 30 from Ant, 20 from Karl, and then 10 from the rest of the starters, that's good. I think we win. And then, off the bench,
you get 15 to.
We get 25, 30, 40 bench points.
Points ain't everything, though, Brad. There's two sides to the floor, man.
I agree. So when you guys also were talking about wearing them down by pushing the ball, they're going to get wore down on offense just by our defense on how much they're going to have to move because of the pressure that we put on teams. Yeah. So, and I think, let Murray and Jokic go for 50 each. We got to stop their number 3, like Porter, like you guys were talking about. That's my key. I don't think, I mean, Cat's a big part of it, but we've won without him, and sometimes he fucking shoots the ball too much, in my opinion, but I think he gets lackadaisical on defense every once in a while.
He's our best shooter. He should shoot because he shoots the ball well.
I did say Jaden. You did say Cat. I think Jaden is important because he will be the one, the way I see the defense going, if we're going to hide Towns defensively, he'd have to be on Cladwell Pope, which moves fucking McDaniels on Aaron Gordon, who's passing. It's crazy with the Denver Nuggets because their two best passers are their two bigs. Yeah. Aaron Gordon and fucking Jokic are their two best passers.
Yep.
So I'd rather him shut down Aaron Gordon. I'd rather see Anthony Edwards shut down Michael Porter, even though he's given up height. I guess McDaniels would have the height on Porter. I think he's 6'10" to 6'11", but those are the two that I would throw on him and try to hide Cat on Cladwell Pope, because
they're going to seek that out anyways and just get switches on screens to get the matchups they want on offense.
Yeah.
I think the key is pick them up right away, make them enter into their offensive sets late in the shot clock, and then just close out on 3-point shooters like madmen and make them step in front of the line, drive the lane, and let Rudy either leave Joker and give him the goddamn lob, and hopefully Karl's on the other side to provide backside help. And it's not like he's the only one. Like Ant-Man and Jaden McDaniels can get up there too. So
no, wouldn't you? Like I wouldn't mind seeing Jaden McDaniels guard the Joker.
See, you have Rudy for it. I don't like that.
No, but my only thing is.
The only time I would say that if whenever they inbound it to Joker, I think Kyle, Nas, or Jaden should be there waiting for him.
Yeah,
take him the whole fucking court, like waste that clock down. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I wouldn't want Rudy or Cat up there doing that, but anytime you see Joker getting the ball on the inbound pass, I'd have one of those four right there with him the whole way up the court.
The problem with Joker is you need defenders at multiple levels because he's just such a great passer. He'll utilize the bounce pass. So you need someone small who can get the ball down near the floor and someone tall who can get the ball. Well, I mean, nobody's as tall as he is. He holds the ball so far.
Did you see? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, did you see? I saw a highlight of him where they threw the ball to him and he was running and didn't even fucking see the ball. All of a sudden it lands in front of him and he just taps it to fucking Michael Porter for a dunk. It was insane. Brilliant. Like where the fuck's? Oh, here's the ball. It's like he's an offensive wizard for sure.
So that's why I think, outside the 3-point line, that's where Jaden picks him up. I mean, I think he's going to go right around Rudy out, layup after layup, but with help defense.
I think that's ridiculous to say that when Rudy's the best defensive player in basketball. Rudy's literally the only person. Rudy's literally the only person in the league who can give this guy any problem whatsoever.
I bet he averages 40 points.
Yeah,
he probably will.
It's going to be pretty high. Yeah,
but I mean, it's all about how many offensive rebounds does he get? Is he going to get his average for the year? How is he going to get out rebounded by Towns and Gobert? These are the things that are going to decide this game. It's not points. Points are not going to decide the game.
That's how you win the game.
Well, the team who has more points wins the game.
No, it's not field goals.
Well,
it's not field goals.
It's defense wins championships. They always say. Which,
well,
if you stop a team from scoring, that's less work you have to do on the offensive end.
Not so much in the NBA lately.
Lately, no
stars that.
But hey, we're rooting for a team that is a defensive team,
which is exactly what I've always wanted out here. Is who cares? We had Jimmy Butler, and that was fun and everything, but this is way more fun. He was great, man. He was a lot of fun to watch. But this
horrible teammate.
This is a different style of basketball that no one else is even playing. Everybody said we were silly to give up all this shit for Rudy Gobert, and now it's
paying off. But he's got the best perimeter defenders he's ever had, so it makes
absolutely.
I wish if they want to equal the playing ground on defense in the NBA, they should either bring back hand checking or have the Olympic thing where the center can stay in the paint for 3 seconds.
Yeah, I mean,
Rudy would be a fucking monster if he could just stand in the paint the whole fucking time.
I think the game is going to probably evolve.
I mean, you got to give something back to the defense. They finally did with the James Harden push off. Now they're calling offensive players if they push off. Yeah. That's an offensive foul, which I love. But they'd really help out the defense if they would adopt that Olympic. Hey, I could stand in the paint for the whole fucking day. Okay.
Yeah.
But
predictions. I got Wolves in 7.
Oh, that's
7! Wow, that's kind of a weak.
Pretty lame.
Yeah,
I want 7. I'd want the series to take everyone. See, I want Minnesota to be the talk of the basketball.
I think they'd be the talk if they sweep them. They'd be the talk if they sweep them. Like, what the fuck just happened? 2 sweeps in a row,
but for not as long.
They'd talk about them the whole.
They were not as long.
I want 7 great games that people say, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe this series and how great it is." They're going to look back on it and say, "Man, who would have thought Denver and Minnesota would play such a great series?"
In the 3 weeks that this round is going to last, they'll be done in a little over a week. They'll still be talking about them 2 weeks.
No, we probably lose to OKC in the next round.
No, I don't like that. No,
I don't like that matchup either.
I think if Dallas makes it, I think they beat them.
You think Dallas beats OKC?
I think so.
Is Luka knocking down shots yet?
Luka had a game last night.
Hey, don't you have to get to your God Kids confirmation?
What time is it?
It's 6:59.
All right, I better get going.
All right, Joel.
Later, boys.
Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, they're Catholic as hell. Still going to confirmations.
That's
so
stupid.
So I didn't say anything during the basketball, but why is Cat playing so much smarter than he was before?
I think it's the funny thing is I think it's the leadership of Anthony Edwards,
one of the youngest guys on the team.
22-year-old Anthony Edwards. Yeah. Well, I mean, you saw how he handled that. I mean, he literally answered a question that was directed towards Karl-Anthony Towns. He is taking control of this team. He answered it beautifully too. He complimented him. He called him the best offensive player in the team. I don't think he's reaching there. I think Karl actually is the most versatile offensive player on the team. Yeah, I mean, he having him on the floor creates passing lanes, driving lanes that wouldn't otherwise be there. It's more easy to collapse into the paint, which is kind of we want to get into the paint and score down there. We're not a particularly great 3-point shooting team. It's just Karl. Karl's a great 3-point shooter.
I think Karl's role as a 1 previously, like he had been with us, is just it's not his forte. No. He's not on number 1. He's a number 2, a real good number 2.
I don't even know. And I think I'd call him a number 3.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Contributes more with his defense. I don't know if that's quantifiable. I've been working on a blog to try and do that. It's called Mrs. Forced. But it's going to take a long time to collect that data. So I'm going to start with the next series. I'm going to start just logging every single instance where I see an instance where a player forces someone to miss a shot. Whether it be with a closeout, whether it be with a help defense that forces a bad pass, a turnover, stuff like that. So I think go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to comment on both series and what the Nuggets did is impressive in 5, but still, like when you look at the T-Wolves games, like none of them were close. The last one was a little bit iffy there, but like none of the other games were in question for the T-Wolves.
Once it got into the third quarter, we pulled away. Yeah.
And I mean, the Nuggets seemed to struggle with the Lakers a little bit. Those games were a lot closer. So
the Nuggets start real fast and loose. So and they jack up shots from long distances. They want to shoot a lot of threes.
Yeah.
So they, sometimes in the 2 losses that they had against us, they had effective shooting percentages or their 2 wins, they had effective field goal percentages over 60%. So like they shoot the lights out or they don't, but eventually they're going to start knocking down shots. That's why you got to limit their second chances, because the more they see it go in, the more likely it's going to keep going in. And that Joker's going to get the open look almost all the time. Like they're going to get a good looking shot pretty regularly just because he demands so much attention and somebody's open and he's a terrific passer and he finds him. He's got eyes in the back of his head. I had a dream about that, like defending Joker by taping eyes in the back of like Luka Garza's head and having him run around and be Joker out there throwing the ball behind his head and shit. It's just you can't prepare for that stuff, guys. He's gonna get his, and that you're just gonna have to live with that. It's like you say, you gotta take one of their third or fourth best scorer and just make them disappear.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like in all reality, that is the key to the series. I don't think it's a Timberwolves player; it's a Timberwolves defense taking away that third or fourth option and limiting them to single-digit points or something like that. If that happens, like you say, we average giving up 97 points. We're golden if we give up 50 and 50, to Murray and Joker. So,
yeah, yeah, that is theoretically, that would work, but
yeah, and I don't know if I'm just being, arrogant or whatnot. Like
you are.
I am not nervous. I think
you're underestimating Denver just a bit.
I think you're underestimating us. Like I was more scared about that Suns team, and we just held them at bay.
They looked.
Their center is no slouch.
There wasn't a guy out there who had gas in the fourth quarter.
No, and that's what I'm saying. I think that's what our defense does. Is it just fucking wears you down, and you're going to put a lot of strain on that calf on Murray. Edwards, is he going to guard him?
Yeah, I don't really take health into consideration. I just assume everybody's going to be out there because freak stuff happens. Like we could lose Anthony Edwards.
Well, we could lose some. But what I'm saying, before Game 5, they said he had a calf strain. You know what I mean? And it could limit him. So, granted, they've got the best trainers in the world working on him right now and whatnot. But no, it's
we'll be coming in with the more rest too. I don't know if that equates to rust or not, but
well, you're still practicing and shit like that. Like you think about
shooting in practice isn't the same.
No, but I mean,
but you're gonna have more energy though. Like that's the thing. What you're saving.
Yeah.
Like I can understand you wanting to watch 7 games, but fuck, the fewer games you play, the more fucking energy you're gonna have for the next series. I mean,
you think that Phoenix was gassed? You know what? I bet you our team's gassed too. You know, just the amount of effort that they're putting in on both ends of the court is crazy.
We got a bit more youth on our team. I feel more confident that they're able to bounce back in long series. I
am just people who've watched this fucking show, like I'm not a huge basketball fan. Anthony Edwards is making me kind of love basketball again.
Exactly what Bomani Jones says is he's the guy with the poster you want on your wall.
He's just, and I understand the comparisons to Jordan, but it's just like
it's this kid,
the height factor, everything, where it's like he's not the tallest guy, but he's fucking one of the most athletic, one of the quickest guys out there who, the way he gets to the bucket and it's just fucking impressive.
There's
watching him play.
So much intensity and force in his game.
And when he posterized Durant, that was fucking.
That is a great image. Oh.
It's funny how it took this year's playoffs to get people he is the best player in the NBA right now. Talking about him, Kevin Garnett.
Joker is the best player in the NBA right now.
I don't know, man. Ant's being right there with him.
Last year he led the playoffs.
That we're talking about last year.
Brand's talking about this year.
He's still going to lead the playoffs in every single category. And
I bet he doesn't.
Take them out of the playoffs.
They're going to be out in the second round.
But on averages, I bet he still does.
Who cares when you're not holding up the trophy? Kevin Garnett on Up in Smoke compared Anthony Edwards to a 1984/85 Michael Jordan. Their games are eerily similar, absolutely similar.
And I'm just, you're saying he's going to lead every category because I checked before because I wanted to see how the Joker went against the Ant-Man in just 2 series. Ant-Man's averaging 30.1 points a game. Mm-hmm. So that's better than the Joker. So he's just fucking impressive. And I mean, to the flip, he's the exact opposite of the Joker, who's got fucking size and his quickness is weird because he's such a big guy.
Points don't tell the whole story though.
I'm not saying, but I don't give a shit about this whole defense wins. Points do fucking matter at some level.
Wins. I'm talking about how Nikola
No, his rebounds
finds the open shot.
Yeah,
better than anybody in basketball. Which
Anthony Edwards creates his own shot.
Yeah, but I mean, there's more open shots in other people's hands than there are in Anthony Edwards' hands because of how much attention Nikola Jokic gets.
And it just depends though on who's taking those shots. I mean, I'd rather have Anthony Edwards taking those shots than.
Well, there's a great discussion right there, Brad. Is I would take just about everybody on our roster over their comparative, person on the other side. Yeah. I mean, Michael Porter Jr. has been hot. He's a streaky shooter, though. I think you give me Naz Reid. You give me Karl. The Joker's the only one that really.
No, the Joker's too easy. Murray. I would rather have Murray than Mike Conley.
I think McDaniels can give Murray fits on the defensive end. He's not going to score like Murray is. And Murray also is going to get his, even with McDaniels and Na will probably take a lot of those shifts. I'm sure those would be the 2 guys that are primary defenders on the ball. So, and both those guys are terrific. So I've got confidence in those guys to at least limit his ability to score. But yeah, I mean, I want to be entertained, man. You guys got to understand. I'm a pro wrestling fan. I'm all for more matches. We create matches. More matches. It's drama.
It is, but it's
on TNT drama.
It hurts though. It hurts. Why you want to play as few games?
Oh, I understand that. That's what Denver did last year, where they played the fewest. They played all but one. They played one extra game, I think, against us.
Actually, there's something I don't know if we've ever talked about since, I mean, baseball's the only thing I care about. Like playoff baseball, when a team sweeps a team and then they're off for like 4 days, that can have an impact on a hot team, their bats. I mean, is shooting the basketball the same thing as hitting a baseball when it comes to just the grooves you find from game to game and week to week?
Well, yeah, you can't duplicate in-game shooting. It's kind of like how you, what do they call those when you get a pitcher out to do a simulated game? You can't simulate a game.
No, but I would still say shooting is
Probably
by
easier.
far easier than hitting. So yes, if you're playing in baseball and you're going 3 for 4, 2 for 4, 4 for 4 on a nightly basis, you want to keep going. You're seeing the ball. You're seeing the ball well. Whereas basketball, it literally takes you a few shots. You're either going to be on or you're going to find your stroke at some point.
That's why Denver started those games against the Lakers down 20, and then in the fourth quarter they won by multiple possessions.
See, and I think that's the thing. I don't think they will find their way back against us. I mean, I tell you what, like, this should be a telltale sign of that Lakers team, what they did to the Denver Nuggets early on. I believe they led at half every single game.
Mm-hmm.
If we get up by 20 points, Denver's not coming back.
Oh, I won't say that. I will not say that.
I just don't see it with how our defense is. The Lakers defense is not good, and they were holding them down. Like, I mean, that's where, like,
I don't know that they were holding them down. I think they were just missing shots.
Okay. So now you put a good defensive team on them, making those shots even harder. I don't see them.
Hopefully, the idea would be there would be fewer shots, right? You want fewer field goals attempted is what you'd like to see. Get them down into 80 field goals attempted, or less would be fantastic. That would indicate that you turned them over a bunch, or I mean, that's the hope. That's what this team is built around: is block shots, rebounds, and turnovers. And that's the thing, is we've been handling the ball a lot better than we did in the regular season. We've been smarter in the playoffs than we were in the regular season.
No, but to help make my brother's point, I think what you're getting at, though, and you talked about the youth of this team, that's so the defense later in the game, because of the youth, because you've got fresher legs when you're dealing with a 22-year-old player as opposed to LeBron James, who's 75. Like you can't, even with a 20-point lead, the Lakers, they're fucking old. Yeah. Like, he's old. He can't play the same way in the fourth quarter as he is in the first quarter. So I don't know. I think it's going to be a really fun series. I think it'll be the
best series of the playoffs.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I don't have my brother's confidence that they're going to sweep them, but I'm optimistic that they could. Like,
that's just crazy to me that somebody would even think about that.
I'm just watching that first series. You're watching a team that's clicking on a lot of levels and is playing really good basketball together
against a team that they had a mismatch at just about every position on the floor.
There's nothing wrong with rooting for your team, Tony. That's what sports is for.
I'll be rooting for them. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, I'm going to be cautiously optimistic is what I'm going to be. If we get to my goal this year was to make the Western Conference Finals. And if we get out of this series, I think we got a really good chance to exceed that. Again, Oklahoma City scares the shit out of me. But I think we are the hottest team in basketball going right now. Let's hope that we stay hot over this break, that we get a little extra day or so of rest. Speaking of hot teams, the hottest team in Major League Baseball is the Minnesota Twins. They've won 10 straight, folks. Against no one in particular.
Well, I want to hear Brad's negativity first before I go into anything. Why is this not impressive to win 10 games straight in the Major League of Baseball?
Yeah.
You're playing the shittiest team in the league. What's to be impressive about it?
2 of the shittiest teams in the league.
The reason they won 2 nights ago, down by 2 runs in the 7th inning, and a guy boots a routine grounder.
Yeah.
That was yesterday. No, that's classic Shy Sox baseball, though, where they will just let you back into the game.
I love them so much.
Is it impressive in somewhat, like, to win? at the end of the day, these are all still major league players.
They're
Yeah.
162, Brad.
Yeah.
They're all worth the same.
Well, no, that's the shittiest teams in this game generally win 60 games, like,
Yeah.
or 50 to 60 games. So I'm just saying, and I would agree, that game in particular, that play, I remember that boot at shortstop. But I am gaining so much more confidence. And I'm not saying the Twins are a great team. They're far from a great team. I think they're showing they're a good team. Just because the way their bats are finally coming together when they're down by fucking 2 runs or 3 runs or even giving up a run, then go back and get it back, as opposed to Jesus. First half of last year and the start to this season, it was just like, fuck, if we get behind, we're not going to win because we just don't know how to get
going against shitty pitching. I mean, like,
I think bullpen pitching is all hard. Like, it's different levels of difficult, but it's still difficult.
No, Chicago's bullpen's not the greatest. That lefty, Crochet, he's nothing. He's going to get dealt at the trade deadline. He's a good young lefty arm. He's good.
But I mean, we started the season struggling to get a single goddamn run and had 3 hits and 9 innings. And I saw the other day they had 10 runs, 10 hits. I'm like, hey, that looks like a team that's starting to figure out how to hit. And I said at the beginning of the season, or when we, started sucking, that this swing for the fences shit takes a while to, what are you taking a shot of Fireball, Mike, during the show?
I meant to do it right after we said they won 10, but I forgot. No, yeah. I do agree.
Stacking the ball all over the yard. I mean, we're getting hits. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I've watched most of the post-game press conferences with Rocco, which he'll never be honest about it, because the reporters at the beginning of the season, when we're not doing anything, when the only swings we have are for the fences, and that's what we did last year too. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that kind of baseball can work if you are on. They changed their approach. They're playing a better kind of baseball now when it comes to, you get a guy on third base, put the fucking ball in play and let's manufacture runs. Like, they're playing a different style of baseball, so they did make adjustments, even though he'll never admit that. And I don't know why. But
okay, so Mike
Styles. Okay,
wait. I got a question.
All right.
So Mike, we're sitting at 17-13 right now.
3 games back.
Over our next
still 3 games back, still 4th in the AL Central.
That's what I was going to get to.
Okay,
yes, two of the
highest
run differentials are in the AL Central right now, which is wild.
Over our next 18 games, what do you expect their record to be? I expect it to be 6-12.
Oh God, no, it won't be that bad.
So we got the Red Sox.
Red Sox are playing some good baseball right now. Mariners
run differential's real low, but they got the pitching.
They're
Blue Jays.
Yankees.
Yep.
Guardians.
Guardians.
Nationals. Rangers. I'm just saying. I think
this is going to be our toughest stretch.
So we will be back. Probably, I would guess 7 games under 500 after this stretch gets done. If they don't, I hope I'm wrong.
No, I hope you're wrong too, because I'm not. I understand this streak is going to come to an end very soon, but I'm hoping for that series for Boston, Seattle, Toronto, and New York. I don't care the numbers because it doesn't matter. I just want to play 500 baseball. That's all I want to do. Guardians, we have to win that series. We've got to take 2 out of 3. Nationals, Texas, then we're back at KC. KC, I have a feeling, has to start coming back down to earth. Like,
they got the same run differential as the goddamn Braves, I think.
Actually, well, the Guardians do.
Yeah.
And the Guardians will come back down to earth. I am sorry, they're not one of the best scoring fucking teams in baseball. And, which I would agree, a 10-win streak against the Shy Sox and the Angels, which, hey, at least we're playing against Trout. But that's not as impressive. So I would say their record right now is not as impressive as they had one of the easiest starts to the season, opening up against, I think, the A's, the Shy Sox. They played them. I think they only took one out of their series with the Braves, I believe. The Braves are probably the best team in baseball, but
yeah,
no,
Oakland, they really beat up on Oakland.
Well, how could you not? You're playing a double-A team.
We're going double A on them now.
But
Holy cow!
I'm with Brad, and I don't, and maybe I'm being a little optimistic. I'm saying we're going to get tested. You want to talk about a good team? Like the fucking Yankees have a really good team now. Soto has solidified that offense. Him and Judge, that is a fun offense to watch.
Probably MVP of the first month of the season.
He's going to make some money with New York.
Right, he's on a contract year. Yeah, he's got Boris agent client too.
And it was that time of the year again, though. It's the Buxton injury time.
Oh no!
What? It's just when I saw him running to second, I'm like, oh, there went the knee. Like they didn't even have to announce it. Like once he started walking, I'm like, how does? And I'm not going to complain. You just expect it. And honestly, Buxton hasn't been playing that great offensively. He's had some key hits, so I don't think we lose that much. But it is just getting so annoying every year where it's like, how does one hurt himself running first to second on a hit and run? Like how
fucker's made of glass, man. I said that a long time ago.
Anytime like he exerts himself, his body just can't handle it. Like
he's Babe Ruth at the end of his career. Him and Royce Lewis should get somebody to run the bases for him.
Yeah, but he's what, 26 fucking years old?
He's older than that. He's 29, I think. 29 or 30. But still, it's no excuse. That's supposed to be your prime.
Just because he's not hitting the ball great doesn't mean you're not missing a bunch defensively. Like that outfield defense is going to take a big step back with anybody else in center field, I would say.
I agree. No, I agree there's going to be a step back, but I don't think it's going to be that much. It's not like Austin Martin was hitting the lights out of the ball, but he came up and held his own against major league pitching, and I don't know, it's a different kind of he should be playing for the Guardians just because he's really fun to watch. He doesn't have that power. It's just he fucking hit some slap hits, and he's pretty good defensively as well. The fucker hustles all the time. That's the other thing I like about Kirilloff. Any infield fucking hit or anything, and he's one of the biggest guys on the team. He is hustling it out to first base, making it tough on the defense where I don't know how many times I get it, Julian, you got a good bat, but you're fucking young. Like I get sick of this shit where force guys to make a play, especially like against Chicago when you jogging out, somebody bobbles something. Right, it's like you could have been on as opposed to whatever. So yeah, that's our Twins update. I think the next 2 weeks.
They got their closer back too, right?
Yeah. Came in and got his first save. Oh, speaking of the bullpen, our bullpen's been fucking overperforming, I'd say. Thielbar is starting to get still got a good ERA, and he's still wiggling his way out of stuff. He fucking makes me nervous when he gets out there. I mean, talk about a junk ball pitcher who has to work his way out of. When you got a 90-mile-an-hour set fastball and then a 78-mile-an-hour fucking curve, like.
Yeah, there's not too many of those guys in the league that pitch out of the bullpen.
No, he's concerning, but our bullpen depth is so fucking good.
Our starting rotation depth isn't great, though.
We just got to see what this team can do against actually competent teams, and we're not fully healthy yet. And the one player, which I didn't think I'd see myself saying this at this time of the year, but with Buxton, it's going to be, I don't think we're ever going to see a healthy Buxton. So you've got to build an outfield, imagining he's not there. And with what we have now, I could see us fucking giving Kepler a contract just because his bat has been consistent again when he's healthy, good defense.
I hate it because the
I
guy
hate
said
it
I'm
too.
not going to play center field, even though he can. But
I hate it too, but he's more consistent than Larnick, who's actually hitting the ball really well. Wallner, who knows with him. And we've got a bridge between Erod, who's coming up. Like, there's this bridge where we need a gap filler, and Buxton is supposed to be that.
Yeah.
And Martin can help fill in, but he's not. Martin's like a guy I would want to slot like 8th in the lineup, or like a second leadoff at 9, where he can play everywhere and the fucker hustles. But
it's amazing that we're going to end up with Kepler as a lifetime twin. Jesus Christ.
maybe. What was Brad? What were you going to say?
5 years ago.
Oh, like isn't our pitching staff like ranked in the top 7 in all the major categories?
Probably.
I would
We
assume
were
so.
right atop the standings last year. We should have taken probably a bigger step back than that this year. Although we did improve on the back end in the bullpen, starting rotation, obviously.
So is it mainly the struggles of the season, then is just offense consistency then?
Yeah, well, and pitching depth though.
Yeah,
I mean, we have no
Can't
starting
afford to lose
pitcher
another
depth.
starter. Like,
I mean, Varlin got sent down because he's just not ready yet.
I saw Simeon Woods Richardson had a good start.
He's one of those. When you watch, he's got a lot of work still to do though. Like, I guess I'm okay him being our number 5 starter, but he's got some control issues when it comes to his curveball and his changeup. I mean, they're good pitches, but when they hit, they're like the bottom middle of the zone, where I'm like, if somebody's looking for that, they're gonna fucking hit that out of the park. And if he starts underperforming, I don't know what we do. Like,
an early trade. We got to be looking at something.
We don't have anybody else to come up. Varlin might just have to be a reliever. Like, and I don't get it. His shit is so fucking good. If he could figure it out, like, that guy's bringing 97, 98. Great slider if he can locate it. I don't know. Bullpen we're set at.
We have 110 in a row, so we still got that going for us.
I still think that's impressive.
I don't care who it's against. Winning 10 games in a row is real damn hard.
The last thing I want to say about the Twins, and I'll give Rocco a little credit watching Ober's last start, where I think he did end up giving up 4 runs throughout the game. I like that he just let him keep going, though, to save the bullpen.
Yeah.
Like, Ober's one of those, I love watching Ober pitch. I like that he's giving a player like that a little more of a leash, even when he gives up like a run in the 6th, where it's just like, no, fuck that. He can still control this opposing offense.
That's a good sign for him, for both the manager and Ober.
Well, Ober has to step up because, no offense to our ace Pablo, third time through the lineup, he is not looking good. Like, I mean, he gave up fucking 4 runs to a shitty, I think it was the Angels the last time he pitched, or is it Chicago? Like, he gave fucking 4 runs to a garbage team. Like, where I'm sorry, our ace should be shutting down these teams. Like, they should be 2-3 hit games if he's really our ace.
He should be going 7, yeah.
But what do I know?
Everybody has an off day, I suppose.
He's had a couple.
All right. Brad, do you want to talk some NFL draft that we didn't get to during our live draft party? You can check that out at Foul Play by Play. Mike was hyped about the Dallas Turner selection. We were all pretty hyped at the Dallas Turner selection.
If we're talking Minnesota Vikings, is anybody else starting to kind of fall in love with JJ McCarthy?
Nope.
I am.
I kind of am. I like his fucking attitude.
Yeah.
And that response to
I heard he meditates, so that kind of won me over.
That response about Kirko chains, where he said, "Yeah, Cousins wears chains. I wear championship rings." Who fucking says that? The kid's 21.
Yeah.
I like the confidence.
Someone who knows Kirk Cousins will never wear a championship ring, which is everybody.
No, I mean, hands down, you got to think, where we got him.
Steal the draft.
You can't complain.
I'm talking about Dallas Turner.
No, I was talking about McCarthy.
Right. Well, Atlanta forced our hand there.
I mean, I tell you what, like,
when you do something that's stupid.
So, like, what do you do?
Has anybody said that's smart?
What's that?
Getting Penix after you pay a quarterback for 3 years, $180 million?
Dan Orlovsky loves it. He absolutely loves it.
Because of the injury concern?
Not that. It's just, you've got Kirk Cousins for basically 2 years. You let this kid come in. If he falters, if he doesn't, I mean, Atlanta would be in the window that we're in if they didn't have drafted him.
Right.
They could have built a team for Cousins. What if Cousins doesn't pan out? What if he doesn't come back from this Achilles? What if after, 2 years he folds? Then you're stuck basically where we were.
Are they sure that Penix is a backup quarterback on par with whoever they could have gotten as a free agent?
Oh, Penix will be the best backup quarterback, I think, in the league.
You think so? I wanted him at the end of the first round.
No, I can understand with Dan's take, but my only problem is his age. Like, if you do want that, if you want life after Cousins in 2 years, when they can release him after 2 years,
he'll be 27.
Why wouldn't they have taken JJ then, who's 21?
Well,
would be a perfect quarterback to sit behind Cousins.
Yeah, but everybody likes their own thing. Their scouts saw something different. So I'll tell you, Kirk Cousins is on a short leash.
Oh,
if he runs 2 or 3 bad games in a row, I don't give a shit what you're paying him. You've got the future sitting on the bench. I mean,
although we're saying that JJ McCarthy shouldn't start until week 6 at the earliest, right?
You never know. Like, you don't fucking know.
They do make him the third quarterback and let Jaron Hall go in.
He's clearly number 2 today on paper.
He's either our starter or he's number 2.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We don't know anything about fucking Sam Darnold.
I don't know anything about how long it takes guys to get to know the playbook. And I mean,
he's looking at it right fucking now, I bet.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Kevin O'Connell is right there with him. Like, I think Nick Mullins throwing for 400 fucking yards, and he's a shitty quarterback.
Yeah, well, 4 interceptions also.
Okay.
I think I'm just looking out for the kid's confidence. It's just call him up too early.
But he's not going to a team that doesn't have any offensive weapons.
True.
AKA Bryce Young.
In the best situation.
He has a good offensive line, and he's going to play on the opposite side of a ball that their defense is going to be really good. He's set up to succeed. So
sure.
My thing is you put yourself in kind of a pickle as the Vikings if Sam Darnold comes out and just fucking blazes.
Out. Yeah.
I mean,
trade chip.
Okay, so Sam Darnold comes out and say you go 12-5, 13-4, something like that. Make a run to the NFC Championship, lose to the 49ers or whatever. You're telling me that you're going to kick this guy to the curb?
Nope.
I mean, he probably will force you to because of what he'll demand in money.
I think we're living in two different worlds.
You're starting all over. So, like, in my opinion, you drafted this guy at 11, 10. You're starting him week fucking 1.
I think it's going to be a competition to see who starts week 1. I think one of the reasons why I'm starting after you learn more about McCarthy, I think starting since the day he's been drafted, he's going to build up to try to be ready. The fucker wants to win.
Oh, yeah.
And prove everybody wrong. So he's going to put in the time. And if he doesn't beat out Darnold, to say what would we do if Darnold takes us on a run this year, that's a different world than we're living in right now. And we didn't give up our future to get McCarthy. So if, let's pretend, Darnold took us on a run and we won the Super Bowl or something crazy like that, or we made it to the NFC Championship game, I think that would be enough to earn him a fucking contract. Then maybe we can do something with fucking McCarthy. Maybe you trade him or something. Even if you don't get much. I'm just saying, we got to wait till that world happens before we decide what we do. And we don't know what we have with McCarthy yet either. Like
Vegas has McCarthy opening game starter at plus 260. That is very fucking low.
Mm-hmm.
Vegas knows shit somehow.
Oh,
so
yeah. They got insiders.
granted,
Inside
not
insiders.
not a single fucking practice has happened, but I'm not upset. Like now, like my whole thing was have him sit. Let's go with Sam Darnold. You know what? Start the kid. At least you know what you got.
No, that
he's in a perfect freaking situation to be able to come out of the gates and start.
I'm right in the middle of both of you. To me, it's on if he's there, if he's absorbed the whole offense, which this isn't the easiest offense to learn in the league. I mean, Kirk Cousins even said it took him a long time, a seasoned quarterback, to absorb McConnell's offense. But if he's there and he's confident and feels comfortable, then yes. If he's not, you don't ruin him out of the gate if he's not there yet. I think he's going to be the kind of quarterback that gets there sooner rather than later. So I'm kind of in the middle of you two. It's, to me, if he's ready, play him. If he's not, don't.
In my most humble opinion, he's your prototypical game manager quarterback. I don't think his numbers are going to jump off the charts.
But he's going to limit turnovers. He'll,
that's what I think. So that's why, in my opinion, open him up as the open game starter. Why wouldn't you? I mean,
well, like Mike says, it'll probably be a competition, and
your defense is going to keep you in every fucking game anyway. So,
well, that's what we hope. And the defense got some reinforcements. Kyrie Jackson out of Oregon, press corner that we needed, and I love this guy because I found out that he at one point quit football to work at a deli counter in a grocery store. So he's my new favorite player. Any undrafted free agents you guys really like?
There's too many to fucking name.
17 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a couple of them. I can't even remember. I read little bits and pieces of them.
They say Gabriel Murphy, the edge out of UCLA, could make a roster.
Yeah, they're talking about him like Ivan Pace, which this is the thing I hate most about the NFL draft is like when you're treating people like fucking, I don't know, animals or something. Like, well, he's got shorter arms, and I understand that stuff does matter, but like, I don't know. I think that guy will make the team. Ivan Pace didn't have the right measurables because he's too small or whatever. It's some of these fuckers just can play football. Like, that's what it boils down to.
And that's what Brian Flores is looking for.
I mean, if you look on paper right now, our defense looks pretty fucking tough.
No, and next year, 2025, when we got money, even after extensions to our left tackle and our best receiver, we could go out and get like the best cornerback who's going to be 27. Like we can find our positions of somewhat weakness and buy one of the best. Like, so this year's going to be fun. 2025 is going to be amazing, I think, in my humble opinion. What are we doing at wide receiver, though? I still think we need a wide receiver 3. I mean, what do we have, 10 million? 9 to 10 million in cap space? That's enough to get a number 3 receiver.
I mean,
isn't Boyd still out there?
Yeah.
Like, that's an upgrade.
Odell Beckham Jr.
I don't want him.
Too old. I'll add Dwight McLeathern Jr. out of Arkansas as another cornerback who Dane Brugler of The Athletic said was a 5th or 6th round talent. So there's another guy who could potentially make a roster.
We got a couple of wide receivers too, didn't we?
Yeah, we got 2 from Mercer.
James Mercer, yep.
Yeah, 2 guys from Mercer.
Trey Knox, the tight end from South Carolina, and Devin Harper out of Mercer.
My thing is
he could be a returner.
That's going to be interesting. The return game, we are going to need a returner this year with the new kickoff rules. I think it's going to be out of control.
Which
Yeah.
we got a couple people on the team can already do that. I mean, our number 3 running back, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name.
Inagwe.
Yeah.
Inagui.
I mean, he could do that. I think the beauty of having, I just hope Flores sticks with us for a couple years, because I think the beauty of Flores is he can fit pieces that undrafted agents, whatever, he can make a team out of whatever he's got, which is nice.
I mean, we got Brandon Powell. He looked pretty decent at times last year. Trying to find. I don't know. I mean, it'd be nice to have a third wide receiver, but maybe we go more 2 tight end sets or something like that.
Oh, I love that idea. Love it.
That Oliver's no slouch. I mean,
I know.
I think he outperformed last year. He
really good run blocker too.
He exceeded my expectations, and Johnny Muntbun.
I wouldn't mind a 3 tight end set.
He's not horrible either, and
pretty often. I love that. Push people around, man.
And we can do a 2 tight end, 2 running back set. I mean, like it's holy shit. Like, like
holy shit is the exact, the perfect way to describe what we have.
Like our running back room is no slouches either.
No.
Aaron Jones, Ty Chandler,
right? That definitely improved. Where did we take a step back this season? Are we just like the Timberwolves were a couple? Like, did we just get a lot better?
The
real only question mark is
quarterback.
Quarterback,
and that's maybe we do take a slight step back this year, but I think by next year or the year after, I mean, we're still hoping, but.
Do we though? Like, do we honestly take a step back? Because you would think in the second year of a defense right now, with we're adding some new pieces, but I think the pieces that we're adding are better pieces than that left us.
Maybe not better, just more suitable.
Oh, I think better.
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. Better for our scheme.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. Maybe not a better player. So you look at that, and we finished pretty close to a top 10 defense last year. So I think our defense definitely improved. Our offense, we didn't. Osborne, we're gonna miss him at points. Like I really
moments where he could.
I really
liked him.
Go out and
I really
win.
grew to like him. Offensive line this year's gonna be better. Our running back room is, in my opinion, better this year without Alexander Madison.
Couldn't agree more.
The quarterback position, I mean, look when the team started to kind of make a run, and we're looking decent. Our quarterback play was absolute fucking garbage for the most part. I mean, yeah, we had guys throwing for 300-400 yards, but 5 fucking interceptions during the same span. If McCarthy starts day 1, he's not going to be thrown to the Wolves. They're going to have, it's probably going to be a condensed playbook and whatnot, and they're going to bring him along the way. I mean, Sam Darnold's no different. It's not like Sam Darnold is just going to open up the playbook to Sam Darnold. He hasn't been there.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, being in a Shanahan locker room last year definitely helps him.
Yeah.
So,
that's.
I thought this was going to be a step back year, honestly.
Now you think Brad's like playoffs? Here we go.
But
100%. I mean, in the NFC North is stacked.
That's what I was gonna say. Is even if we think maybe at quarterback we stayed the same, and I think an argument for why we could stay the same is there's going to be some different plays we can throw in there with either Darnold or McCarthy. They're fucking way more athletic on their feet.
Yep.
Where I could see some design QB runs a couple times during the game. So I'm saying maybe at quarterback we're evening out, but it's not like the rest of the NFC just stayed pat.
Yeah.
Some of those teams got a lot better.
Everybody in our division got better.
It's going to be a brutal fucking.
Won't be an easy, a game. There won't be an easy game on our schedule.
I bet you, JJ McCarthy has a better season this year than Caleb Williams.
Ooh. I agree with that 100%. If he's
number one reason, coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it could also be just the people around him. Justin Jefferson TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah, but look at I would say their tier group of receivers that they're throwing to is just as good as it's the Vikings. No offense to the Vikings, but it's not like they've got slouches in Chicago right now either, though. They've built up a good receiving core for
What do they got for an offensive line?
Not bad. Okay. I mean, they've been building it. I mean, the Bears have been trash for so long. Like, they've been building at this for
I know their defense is good. So, yeah, they're scary already. Detroit's obviously scary. Green Bay is obviously scary.
Yeah, so how do you being honest assessment, not a Vikings fan, what's your going into the season ranking of the NFC North?
1A, 1B, 2, or 1A, 1B, 1C, 2. The Bears being the 2.
I would say
wow.
I would agree with a 1A, 1B for the Packers and the Lions, and then there would be a 2A and 2B with the Vikings.
That's
and the
how
Bears.
I would do it too.
No, we're better than the Bears for sure.
I like to think so. I don't know that
you
yet.
You could put us at maybe the 1C, where we're just a notch below, but still, I mean,
if we're the third team out of the NFC's North, though, we're not making the playoffs.
Yeah, we are.
That's
you split all those games. That's only 3 losses.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with that. Yeah. I guess the one intangible I didn't think when I think of the NFC North, though, is the one factor, like when we play the Bears, that they don't have on us, and I do agree the Bears' defense is better. Flores is going to be able to fucking make some fits for a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, he is.
Especially with our edge rushing situation now.
That's going to be a nightmare. I don't want to say he's going to cry to mom, but it's going to be a rough day.
So, yeah, I don't share Brad's heightened optimism, but I have some optimism.
Yeah, I don't have us on the tier with Green Bay and Detroit. Not even
100%. 100%.
I think we're lucky to win one of those four games.
Offensively, we're just as good as Green Bay. Defensively, it's a coin flip.
I don't think that's true.
I do.
What do they got? They don't have a for sure number one wide receiver.
They got a pretty good quarterback, though. They got an effective run game. They got a good offensive line.
Let's see year 2. It's not like he blew the tank off. I mean, he was no CJ Stroud last year.
Pretty goddamn good the end of the year. CJ Stroud. Damn, it would have been nice to get him, huh?
So, I mean, that's like my thing is like Detroit. Does Detroit take a step back now? Do they get arrogant and because it is Detroit and they've lost all the time, now they won a little bit. Now they're going to come in thinking they're fucking good, paying a wide receiver top tier money. They could take a step back.
Sure, they could.
But
I think they improved the one thing that they actually lacked last year, which was their defense, specifically their secondary. So, I mean, I think they're better, but I don't know if Jared Goff is the guy that we saw last year. If that's going to be the same guy that we see this year.
So that's what I'm saying. So that's where, like, any given day, let's reference the movie Any Given Sunday, one of these teams can win against each other. I don't think the gap is that far from 1 to 4. I think there's a little gap between Chicago and the other 3 teams. I think they're a little bit lower right now. And I blame it all on coaching for the most part. Offense, I don't know.
I actually agree 100% with Brad's take there. I think there are there are gaps between which teams are better. I think every fucking game is going to be a fucking bloodbath between this division where either team could win. It's going to be the best for the fan base of the NFC North because every team has something to fucking root for. Every game is going to be a game where either team can fucking win. Like, it's going to be fucking fun.
It's the old AFC North, the really old 80s, 90s NFC East, that it's just going to be a knockdown. It's going to be fun. I mean, but at the same point, we could be that division that sends 3 teams to the playoffs. I mean, your mindset's to win every game But if you can go 500 against division, you're right there. I mean, and going 500 against that division, there's some firepower in there.
What out of conference division do we play this year?
Give me 1 second.
While we have this little interlude, I'd like to shame the Minnesota Wild. Right now, Minnesota sports is on fire with the other three organizations, and they are letting everybody down.
Man, Jared Spurgeon got hurt, man. The captain went down, and down went the ship. That's kind of how it goes.
We got the AFC East, don't we?
I thought you were looking it up.
Well, I thought Mike was looking it up.
That's what I'm bringing.
You said, give me 1 second.
I thought we had the AFC East last year. Didn't we play in Buffalo last year?
That was 2 years ago.
Away opponents.
Remember that game, that fumble on the 1 yard line?
Okay, so we got. Okay, let's just go through it right now.
All right, here we go. We're doing
May 2nd. May 2nd. Mark it down. I've been pretty close. I think just like one game. One game off. Bears, we win both. So that's 2-0. Wow. Lions, we split. That's 3-1. Packers, we split. That's 4-2. We beat the Houston Texans.
No, we don't.
5-2. We lose to the 49ers. 5-3. We beat the Jets. 6-3. We beat the Cardinals. 7-3. We lose to the Indianapolis Colts because we can't stop Richardson. He runs all over us like Michael Vick used to. So we're at 7-4. We destroy the Atlanta Falcons. Kirk cries. 8-4. We beat the Giants 9-4. We beat the Seahawks 10-4.
That's never a playoff team already.
We never play good against East Coast teams like the Jaguars. We probably lose that game 10-5. We kill the Titans.
11-win season? You're insane. See, that's
why
I
got the Rams.
Yeah. 11-6. I must have did one twice. 11. We end up 11-6. We beat the Rams.
Another game, so we'd be 11 and yeah.
We're 11-6.
I think that's 2 or 3 wins more than we're gonna have next year. And I think it'll be Green Bay and Detroit that hands them to us.
Mark it down.
11-6. I got it. And it's all up here, Brad.
Hey, pass the sausage.
Oh, yeah.
I love the sausage. We didn't talk about the sausage. The lucky sausage.
Like what? Where did that come from? What's
probably Sheboygan.
It came from our second baseman. I'm losing it. Farmer had a summer sausage or whatever that was, God knows where he got it in California or where it was shipped from, but it was in his bag. And somebody brought it out when we started hitting well. So they all just started hitting their bats on it. Now throwing it around and shit. And Jeffers is taking it upon himself as the catcher, where he's the one who is transporting the sausage now.
Oh my God.
Series to series.
Awesome suitcase that locks and everything.
It's very point in this year when somebody breaks it open and takes a bite out of it.
I fucking would love to see that.
That would mean that we weren't hitting too good.
No, I mean after a celebration, like a walk-off home run or something, somebody just grabs that thing, rips it open, and takes a bite out of that.
Speaking of, which we didn't even talk about. We talked about the Twins way too much anyway. Ryan Jeffers.
You talked about the Twins.
Sorry. Ryan Jeffers needs to be extended.
Yeah.
Ryan Jeffers is our best player.
Yeah. He was our best.
I never thought I would say that.
Yeah.
Ryan Jeffers is the best Minnesota Twin.
Yeah.
His numbers offensively are insane. I don't know how he's doing what he's doing. But anyway.
Probably the best hitting catcher in the game, huh?
He's got to be.
Rushman for Baltimore, probably.
He's playing better than Adley is.
I told you, at the end of last year, he was the best hitter in our lineup until Royce Lewis got back.
He's amazing.
Any word when he's coming back?
Maybe early June is the best hope.
Wow. Well,
May. We got to make it through May. We got to just play 500 ball through May and stick in the division.
Yeah, this is it.
Make ourselves buyers at the deadline. And then, well, we got to get through June to do that too. All right, boys. It's a pleasure talking to you as usual. I'm going to go to bed because I got to be up at 4:30 a.m. Golf course awaits.
Lucky.
Goodbye.
Love you. Bye.
Goodbye. Felicia, bye.
Just give me that fix. Give me that fix.